As you can see, Portavoe Reservoir is a natural beauty spot in this area. Local people are very concerned and have made their feelings known. You come down here quite regularly.
Yes.
Trish, what brings you down?
I've been coming here from I was 19 and I'm 52 now. Every dog I've ever had has been walked around Portavoe, so I use this to walk my dogs.
And you just see it as obviously a natural beauty spot and a pleasant place to walk.
It's just beautiful, and because I'm disabled, I can bring the car right up to here and the dog gets the exercise that she needs.
So this suits you perfectly. In other words,
this
you
is
have
ideal
the facility
for
the
myself
car parked together.
And hundreds of other dog walkers who come here.
I've seen plenty of people down.
Yeah.
There've been all sorts of activities.
Not so much at the minute because of the state it's in. They're genuinely upset. They come down and see what it's like, and they're like myself, heartbroken. Every ring on those shells is a year. So every ring is a year. That's the year of what age it is. Of growth. And hundreds of these have died because they've emptied this. They've no way of moving.
You can actually see hundreds of them, never mind whatever ones we can't. And the valve, it was described to me in a press release by the department as essential refurbishment of a valve. It's not even replacing it.
They're replacing the whole jetty. It's built and all. It's just got to go in.
This is how they've described it now to me, and the official comment was the refurbishment of a valve, which I would have thought sounds like even less work than what we'd perhaps been thinking they were going to be doing.
There you go.
They don't. If they need to refurbish that valve, all they need to do is section the steel plate that they use in construction in buildings when they want to separate water to get through water without having to drain it. That's all they have to do with that.
Well, think of the work they do in oil
Section
rigs.
it off, suction it out, pump the water out at that part, do the valve maintenance work. That's it. There's no need for this.
And everything around it then would have been
fine.
Yep. Would have been happy. I mean, we all understand work has to be done, but it doesn't necessarily have to be done.
It doesn't involve killing an entire ecosystem.
The excuse for this is the 1975 Health and Safety Act. Once this is replaced and done, then it's a viable asset that could be sold off. Nobody's saying that they're going to sell it off, but they're not saying they're not either.
So until that refurbishment's done,
it can't be sold until that's replaced.
And that, well, a lot of people have said that to me. They feel that's what's behind it, is they're trying to prepare the place.
Yes.
And the less, I suppose, perhaps aesthetical, less wildlife around it, the easier it would be for them to shift it on without having to concern people who were trying to plan something on it.
Absolutely.
Austin Lennon, that's good friend of yourself, he saved this before, 3 years ago. He fears it's doomed this time, but we'll wait and see. As we say, need the minister down.
I'm going to be the new Austin Lennon.
I know you are.
I hope so. Money talks.
Danny Kennedy needs to get himself down here and look and realise what's going on and how many animals are being affected for this.
So actually what really you would like to see is himself
getting a bit more proactive.
Come down and have a look, rather than sitting signing off a piece of paper, because he's probably, to be fair to him, he's probably not told everything that's going on.
I've emailed him
this that
everything.
I've told him about it myself.
Yes,
and he said that people were coming down today,
but there's no sign of them. Although they did just
that was to check about fish though only.
Yes, but it's not just fish, and it's not feasible the way they've stated about relocating. There's no way it's humanly possible for them to get every fish, every eel, every roach, everything that's in there relocated.
Well, there's
going to be death.
A major operation.
It would cost more than it would.
Even if they were trying to, I mean, it would be a hell of a job.
Yeah, I would like to see them try. I would like to see them do it and be successful. I can't see it happening.
Taking away in tanks and put it somewhere else.
It's not going to happen.
They
won't do it. They'll dig a hole and they'll bury them.
I'm prepared to pitch a tent here and stay here
and watch
overnight and watch the place overnight for as long as it takes.
Ballysala, they dug a hole and they buried the fish. That's how they got rid of them. So
there are ducks in what could only be called puddles. There's a trickle of water running through mud, and indeed 2 swans appear to be stuck in mud, and we've had to contact the RSPB in relation to them to try and get them rescued. They're stuck in a mud flat approximately 100 yards long. Northern Ireland Water tell us that this is indeed a health and safety issue as to why the valve has to be refurbished. If it's a health and safety issue, I can assure you from what we've seen walking around the reservoir today, there are many more issues than simply the valve. There are bridges that people walk across which are badly damaged and indeed dangerous. Even where they're not parts missing, it is still weak to the touch, and perhaps things like that could be addressed where people could be concerned rather than a valve which is destroying wildlife throughout this area gets a priority. It is obvious that the breeding areas and the bulrushes are dying. They're a grey colour. There's a ghostly appearance about the place. Those bulrushes have been there for quite some time. Whether even if the reservoir is indeed refilled, the water coming through this year will be enough to allow next year to regenerate itself is quite another question. Those nesting areas could be gone forever. And I've contacted Northern Ireland Water. I've contacted the Minister, Danny Kennedy, who said he's sending people down to see what can be done about the fish. We don't know what can be done. It would be a difficult task and require an awful lot of money and manpower to get the fish out of such a wide expanse, tank them and take them somewhere else. The reality is that the fish appear at this moment in time to be going to die. The entire area is going to be decimated by this and will take years to recover if indeed it does. And as I speak, the water continues to drain away behind me.